The rain started just as the funeral procession arrived. Dark clouds hung low over the quiet town, and the slow rhythm of traditional drums echoed around the compound. The large family house was filled with mourners dressed in black and deep purple ashobi, whispering softly as they waited for the ceremony to begin. At the center of it all was Amaka Okafor, the widow. She sat quietly beside the framed portrait of her late husband, Chief Emeka Okafor, a powerful businessman who had built one of the largest transport companies in the region. For 30 years, Amaka had stood beside him through everything: his rise to wealth, the endless business trips, the political connections, and the respect he commanded in society. To everyone in the community, they were the perfect couple. Now he was gone, and today the entire town had gathered to say goodbye. The compound was full. Business partners, politicians, church leaders, extended families. Even people who barely knew the chief had come, eager to show respect to the man who had once helped so many. Amaka's 2 children sat beside her. Her son, Chinedu, tall and serious, had returned from London 2 days earlier. Her daughter, Adaeze, elegant and quiet, held her mother's hand tightly. Neither of them spoke much. Grief had settled heavily on the family. But beneath the grief, something else lingered, a tension none of them could explain. When the priest began his prayer, the compound grew silent. The air smelled of incense and rain-soaked earth. The casket, polished to a deep mahogany shine, rested beneath a white canopy, surrounded by flowers. As the priest spoke about legacy, family, and the life of the departed, many in the crowd nodded respectfully. Chief Emeka had been a man of influence, a man of wealth, a man who, according to everyone present, had lived an honorable life. Then the gate opened. At first, no one paid attention. People came and went through the mourning, but slowly heads began to turn. 2 figures had entered the compound, a woman and a young girl. The woman walked slowly but confidently through the crowd. She was dressed entirely in black, but her outfit was elegant, not like the simple mourning clothes many others wore. Her posture was straight, her expression calm. Beside her walked a girl of about 12 years old, holding tightly to her hand. The girl looked nervous, glancing around at the sea of unfamiliar faces. Whispers started immediately. "Who is she? I don't recognize her. Is she from the village?" But the woman didn't stop. She walked directly towards the front of the gathering, towards the widow, towards the casket. Amaka noticed her first. Her eyes narrowed slightly as the stranger approached. There was something unsettling about the woman's confidence. People usually approach funerals with hesitation, but this woman walked as if she belonged there. When she reached the front, the priest paused. The entire crowd was watching now. The woman bowed her head briefly towards the casket. Then she turned her face to Amaka. For a moment, neither woman spoke. The tension was immediate and heavy. Then the stranger said quietly, "My name is Grace Nwonye." Her voice was steady. "And I came to mourn my husband." The words fell into silence like thunder. Amaka blinked. "I'm sorry," she said slowly. Grace didn't look away. "I said," she repeated calmly, "I came to mourn my husband." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Chinedu stood up abruptly. "What nonsense is this?" he demanded. But Grace simply placed a hand on the young girl's shoulder. "This is Zara," she said. "She is Chief Emeka's daughter." The entire compound erupted into shocked whispers. Adaeze gasped. Amaka's face drained of color. "This is impossible," Chinedu said sharply. Grace met his gaze calmly. "It is not." She reached into her handbag and pulled out a folder. Inside were documents, Photographs, a marriage certificate. She held them out. Your father married me 12 years ago. Silence spread across the compound like a slow-moving storm. Amaka stared at the paper, but did not take them. Her hands trembled slightly. That cannot be true, she whispered. But Grace's voice remained calm. He kept the marriage private, she said. He said it was necessary for business reasons. The crowd was no longer whispering quietly. Now people were openly talking. Someone stood to get a better look. Others shook their heads in disbelief. Chinedu grabbed the documents from Grace and flipped through them angrily. The signatures, the photos, the official stamps, everything looked real. This is a lie, he said, though his voice had lost some of its certainty. Grace looked at the casket, then back at the family. I didn't come here to cause a scene, she said softly. I came because Zara deserves to say goodbye to her father. The young girl clutched her mother's hand tightly. Her eyes were fixed on the casket. And for the first time, Amaka noticed something that made her heart stop. The girl looked exactly like Emeka. The same eyes, the same smile. The resemblance was undeniable. A wave of murmurs spread through the crowd. People had noticed it too. Amaka's voice trembled. You expect me to believe this? She asked. Grace hesitated. Then she said something that changed everything. I didn't come here by accident. She turned slowly. Her gaze moved through the crowd until it stopped on someone standing near the back, the family lawyer, Barrister Okoye. Every head turned towards him. The lawyer shifted uncomfortably. Grace spoke again. He invited me. The compound exploded with shock. Chinedu stared at the lawyer. You what? He said. Barrister Okoye stepped forward slowly. His voice was quiet but firm. Your father left instructions before he died. Amaka's breath caught. He asked me to bring Grace and Zara to the funeral. The silence that followed was heavier than anything before. Chinedu looked stunned. Why? He demanded. The lawyer sighed. Because this will be read tomorrow. He looked at Grace, then at the widow. And Chief Emeka wanted the truth revealed first. The crowd erupted again. What everyone had believed to be a simple funeral had suddenly become something else entirely. A scandal, a revelation, a family about to be torn apart. And the funeral of Chief Emeka Okafor had just become the beginning of a war no one saw coming. If you like this story, please stay connected and we'll see you on the next one.